Anybody you can emotionally control, anybody you can emotionally affect, you have them in your pocket, right? To one degree or another. If you can emotionally control somebody, I'll tell you who's excellent at this. Women. Women are fantastic at this. If a woman realizes she can piss you off with X thing, she'll notice it, she'll keep it in her pocket. You know what? That annoys him. Cool, sorry baby, sorry. 3 weeks later, 2 months later, they realize when you're vulnerable. I can tell you this, I can tell you the experience from fighting. When I was fighting, I was a kickboxing world champion, right? I never made millions from fighting. Kickboxing was not that big a sport. 10 years ago, even UFC wasn't as big as it is now. So I was making money, but I was probably fighting 2 or 3 times a year, and most I ever got paid was 100, 150 grand a fight. So I was kind of normal life. Whichever girlfriend I had at the time, no matter what, she always managed to start some asinine, stupid, immature fight with me like 3 days before a fight. Because I'm weight drained, I haven't eaten, I'm nervous, I can't sleep. I've been training for fucking 10 weeks. This monster's from fucking Kazakhstan, some psycho. I have to fly over to fucking fuck knows where. And now she's like, you know, in the toilet seat. I'm like, the fucking toilet seat. I might die. He could kill me. But she knew that's when I was weak. She knew it. They detect it. This is when I can get it. I say toilet seat any other time, his answer is go home and just sit on his computer. Go home then. Go toilet at home. Bye. No, I don't want to go home. No, now I actually want you to go home. Please leave my house. Oh, I didn't want to leave. Bye. Goodbye. Fuck you. Next girl. So they get you when you're weak, right? Yeah. And anyone who can emotionally control you and emotionally affect you has power over you. So if I say, 5 wives, and a feminist goes, 5 wives? I'm fat. I'll sit there and just, yeah, but obviously a lot of food needs cooking, so she needs help. But that's because they make it too easy. If you're playing chess and you hang a piece, I'm gonna snap it up. You're gonna leave your knight hanging. Thank you very much, sir. Bam. That's the game. I do instigate to a degree because they make it so fucking easy to win. It's so easy for me to win debates against people because they get so pissed off with what I say. I'll give the game away to the entire YouTube world why I've destroyed absolutely everybody in any debate ever. I say things that they know are true and that they agree with, but I say it in a way that angers them emotionally and they get caught up in their brain because they're saying, he's saying the truth, but I'm pissed off by how he's saying it. So I want to argue with him, but he's right. So instead of saying men are physically stronger than women, I'll say females are weak. Females are weak. Well, females are weak. Females are weak. Men are strong. Females are weak. No, but but I'm right. And he knows I'm right. But he's mad now. And so is she. And they sit there and it happened on Dave Portnoy. You end up having a whole group of people sitting there trying to argue. Well, some women are strong like men. Trying to argue the fact that women are as strong as men physically because I've emotionally controlled them all and upset them all. And then I do a podcast and I get billions and millions of views and unlimited likes against good debaters like Dave and his little crew by just emotionally controlling them. It's an emotional game. I wreck them. I've never given this game away before anyway. But this is what I do. I sit there and I say something they know is true in a way they can't agree with it, and I fucking control them all. Because they're stupid. If I was me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, perhaps I don't like the way you phrased it, but you're very true. That takes intellect. People are emotional. So this is why I wreck all of them. And you're right, I poke them on purpose. And it makes it very difficult to argue with me, especially if they agree with what I'm saying, but they don't like the way it's being said. Emotions are feedback. The idea that men don't feel emotions is incorrect. We feel emotions. I would actually argue we feel emotions with certain emotions stronger than women. I would argue that we feel heartbreak stronger than women. I would argue we feel anger like a woman could never understand. I would argue we are extremely emotional, pure rage. But it's feedback. So when you get the feedback, it's all about how you internalize it and how you process it. Stoicism's not feeling emotions. It's feeling the emotion and going, okay, why is this happening? How much does this really matter? What's the most intelligent move on the chessboard? Chess is a fantastic game because in the game of chess, there's no luck. If you lose, no matter how well you played, if you lose, at some point you made a mistake. Even if it's the most minor mistake, you made a mistake. So you learn to understand that no matter what happens to you, if you lose a scenario, you made a mistake. Maybe it's a tiny one, maybe it was 2 years ago, whatever, but you made a mistake and you learn absolute and utter accountability for yourself. And that mentality is extremely powerful to apply to all things in life. The position I'm in now as the most hated man in the world, although I agree and I truly believe it's unfair, I still take complete responsibility for. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm telling you why it happened when I talk about TikTok and YouTube shorts, but I'm not going to blame them. Absolutely. They're a company making money and they're monetizing the best they can. Fantastic. All of this is my fault. But the Bugatti on my drive is my fault. And the yacht is my fault. The private jet's my fault. So it's all my fault. So I take the good with the bad. I take all responsibility for absolutely everything, including if a woman leaves me, if a woman stays, if I end up heartbroken, if I end up filled with rage, I take responsibility for that. If something happens to me that makes me enraged, I will take responsibility. Why has this happened to me? Why do I feel this way? How did I end up in this position? Is this healthy in this scenario? And sometimes it is. I've had scenarios in my life where I was prepared to die to protect somebody else, and I was enraged, and it was healthy. I've also had times where I'm in a room by myself, enraged, sitting there going, this is no good for anybody. I need to just calm the fuck down. So emotions are feedback, but stoicism is the ability to process them. And that's what you need to learn as a man. You're never going to be able to turn them off. You're going to feel them. You have to learn how to process them and turn them into a positive. It's energy. It's unlimited energy. I say this all the time. I say that the biggest periods of transformation in my life is when everything was going wrong. When my life was going good, I'm not a hedonistic person. I don't do drugs. I don't gamble. I don't do prostitutes. I don't do anything that hedonistic. But I'll certainly go on the yacht with a bunch of women I know and chill and have some vodkas, that kind of thing. When life's smooth, then it's semi-hedonistic, pretty relaxed. But when I make my biggest progress, when I really change who I am and change the world, that's when everything's fucked. When things go wrong, or I'm feeling things I don't want to feel, or bad things are happening, that's when I'm like, okay, I currently cannot sleep. I've completed the day's tasks. I've tried to go to bed. I can't sleep. More shit has to get done. That's when the amazing things happen in my life. When I was heartbroken, when I was whatever, everyone's been heartbroken. I can't remember a specific example. I hit the gym harder, right? If something goes wrong with your payment processor, that's when you get fucking inventive. That's business, right? That's when you get inventive. So all the bad things that happen to you as a man, if you're stoic, you get to take unlimited energy. Heartbreak is unlimited energy. So is depression. So is rage. So is sadness. All these negative emotions they tell you to collapse behind. Bruce Lee says, be like water. And people see that as be fluid and just go with the flow. I disagree. If you're like water, you're necessary for life. You are scary when you're enraged. You're powerful. You're beautiful when you're calm. You're so many things when you're like water, right? So if I'm enraged, it's like water behind a dam. You just got to put the dam in place, and you got to get the turbo, the hydroelectrics put in. Don't tsunami your life. Put the energy somewhere. And this is the most beautiful thing about it, because people message me all the time like, oh, but Tate, you don't know how sad I feel. No, incorrect. I know exactly how sad you feel. Difference is I used it.